But to Pornhub.
Again, to recap, New York Times article accused Pornhub of hosting videos of underage and non-consenting women. In response, Pornhub removed millions of users' uploaded videos. Visa and Mastercard cut ties with Pornhub, blocking credit card transactions and leaving only cryptocurrency and other payment options. Gods, what does other mean? Ugh. Right?
Sexual exploitation is a serious issue, but it requires legal action, victim support, education, and resources, not corporate censorship. Visa and Mastercard lack the expertise, authority, and legitimacy to regulate digital speech or online content. Their actions bypass democratic processes. These companies are unelected and unaccountable, yet effectively making censorship decisions, violating your constitutional rights in Canada and the USA.
Checkpoint, choke point problem. Visa and Mastercard together act as a duopoly over online payments, creating a checkpoint. Any arbitrary rule they impose becomes a de facto rule for the internet, shaping what websites can service financially. This means payment processors can indirectly decide what you are allowed to read, watch, or access online in almost any means.
Yep. Impact on whores and smaller platforms. Ironically, many of Pornhub's strongest critics are whores themselves, but they are also targeted by payment processor bans. These restrictions hurt whores and smaller adult platforms, which could otherwise challenge Pornhub's near monopoly. Partly why they're doing it.
Yeah.
Such choke points have historically been used against whistleblowers and independent publishers, and past examples include WikiLeaks, Smashwords, independent books, and numerous sex worker platforms.
The issue isn't whether Pornhub is predatory, but how much power private corporations should have to censor the internet. Today, the power is used against Pornhub. Tomorrow, it could be used against, and it has been used against, independent creators, publishers, or activists. A warning. Applauding Visa and Mastercard's actions against Pornhub ignores the larger danger of corporate overreach. These powers usually target those with the least influence and resources or money. Instead of legitimizing Visa and Mastercard's role as internet censors, society should work to reduce their control over online payment and speech. I can't say it enough. Who the fuck is Visa, Mastercard, and the banks to dictate what people can and cannot do online, and when the stuff hasn't even been brought to Supreme Court?
It's a huge shit sandwich, and we're all gonna have to take a bite.
Well, now we have uncovered who it is that is responsible for this push. These payment processors were urged to go after Steam by this group right here, Collective Shout, who wrote an open letter to these payment processors. They are a self-described grassroots campaigning movement against the objectification of women. These punks are the sort who whine incessantly about this sort of thing. This tweet here, as an example, shows an article from 8 years ago where one of the co-founders of Collective Shout said that Lara Croft and Cortana, among others, have impossibly large chests. They want those characters removed from media, which is the attitude that led to the manly version of Lara Croft that we see today.
I'm not into dudes.
Meanwhile, this same organization praised the Netflix show Cuties, which, if you don't remember, that was the show which featured adult-oriented material using kids as actors. It's absolutely disgusting, people were appalled by it, and Netflix eventually pulled the show, but Collective Shout called it a powerful protest, and they did not call for the show to be taken down. And so we know exactly what kind of an organization this is, the sort without any actual principles. Cortana is somehow a big problem, but the show Cuties, that's just art, they say. Well, this is a radical feminist organization which will certainly come after games like Stellar Blade next, and I think I can speak for gamers when I say what I'd like them to do in regards to our hobby.
Get the f*** out of here!
Let's look at what these jackasses at Collective Shout are up to now. You just know that things are not going their way when they start playing the victim, like a dog rolling over and showing you his belly. This co-founder of the Collective Shout organization, Melissa Tankard-Reist, just posted this on X. She wrote, "You are morally bankrupt and destroying civilization. How dare you say gamers getting off on the sexual torture of women and kids makes us violent. Also in my inbox this morning," and then she proceeds to post what seems likely to me to be a fabricated email message with a bogus email domain. And let me say this, it's not hard to say that I denounce this sort of behavior. I doubt this is real, but ridiculous people do exist, and they are not emblematic of gamers as a whole. Now, if you dislike these people at Collective Shout, don't send them emails like this. I probably don't need to tell you that, but it's not a good idea. In fact, don't send emails at all. Just engage with them politely but firmly against their ideas on social media. The reason this Melissa Tankard-Reist is going into full-on victim mode is because of the scrutiny that her organization is under now that we are onto them. Look at this post here from Archcast as a small example. He writes here, "Collective Shout is a much bigger player than we thought. They not only got an article pulled within a day, they got the writer fired. Now, Anna is certainly no friend to us, making this all the more remarkable." And what he's talking about is this article here, which was pulled down from Vice. It was written by Anna Valens, a progressive activist, but Anna was actually defending games like Detroit Become Human from Collective Shout, and the article got yeeted. Or here's a post from Jay Viper on X, where he turned up some pretty interesting information. He wrote, "Looking into Collective Shout turned up something interesting. Turns out the phone number they operate under is also associated with Women's Forums Australia. They were interested in women understanding their choices other than abortion, a noble cause headed up by Melinda Tankard-Reist. It was right around this point that Reist founded Collective Shout and began targeting companies via censorship and ignoring choice altogether. It's important to note the Australian origins of this company and the many issues Australia has with censorship by its government and controlling bodies. Collective Shout claims it's a grassroots organization. However, they do not publish donors and amounts. Their revenue is displayed only through their ACNC financial report, which is not itemized. They also partner..."
Sounds very AstroTurfed, and AstroTurf is when it pretends to be like a grassroots movement, but it's funded by big players. Alright. And it's a fed off.
With good company for employee direct paycheck donations. As an example, companies such as AGL, an Australian energy firm, facilitate employee donations through payroll deductions. As for the Steam changes, this only took 8 days to work. They wrote an open letter, and 8 days later, they were posting their win. Someone beyond this group is pushing it, and when censorship at this level is involved, this is alarming. They're already going beyond their payment processor win and are taking games down on Steam by purposely misleading the public. So yeah, this is definitely not a grassroots organization.
That's crazy.
It seems we have stumbled onto a hidden boss fight in the battle against gaming's enemies. Someone powerful must be funding Collective Shout. There's no other explanation as to why they would have so much sway despite being so relatively minuscule. The good news is that the more we shine light on them, the less power they're going to have. This is why we see the co-founder showing her belly, so to speak, and playing victim. That is not a posture someone takes on when they're winning. That is someone desperate to shut the opposition down. They want your pity. Instead, they can have our petition.
Right back at you, bitch. Fucking right.
First of all, we have this petition here that I've mentioned before on this channel, which has absolutely blown up. This petition is urging the US government to pass legislation that will prevent these payment processors from acting like a...
So this is the start of the saga? Remember that. The petition worked. I swear, this is like the first time I've ever seen an administration really consider a petition.
monopoly and bullying businesses into operating using...
I just want to, because I know we'll get, oh, fuck petitions, that's stupid, that's gay, which I agree. That's how I feel about them. But it looks like, as you'll find out in a couple streams from now, they listened. It's crazy. As crazy as that sounds, at least the American government listened.
If they were actually serious about not liking this adult material, then they would be doing the same thing to HBO Max right now in an attempt to get Game of Thrones taken off the air. They would be threatening HBO Max saying, hey, we aren't going to work as your payment processors for that site if you don't remove Game of Thrones, because that is a much more prominent and mainstream piece of culture which depicts all kinds of horrible adult-oriented material. But they aren't focused on that because HBO is one of their buddies. You know who isn't their buddy, though? You and I. Chances are that we don't vote the way that they want us to in elections. As gamers, and really just geeks and nerds in general who like pop culture, we are a free-thinking bunch who don't automatically buy into the shit-lib cultural relativism that these financial institutions push because it helps my GDP go up a percentage point as they import the third world relentlessly into our society. We have, in many ways, been the tip of the spear in the effort to oppose them, and I believe quite firmly that collective shout is simply a convenient scapegoat for the behavior that Visa and these other payment processors wanted to engage in on their own. Right now, they are focused on adult-oriented material because optically that works better than simply saying, look, we want to censor anybody who disagrees with our political views. More people can stomach censoring the not suitable for work stuff. But if it were really about that, then they'd be calling for Baldur's Gate 3 to get taken down from Steam. They'd be calling for Game of Thrones to be removed from HBO Max. Ultimately, this is about control.
Let's talk about the hypocrisy. So these are lists of websites that accept Mastercard as a method of payment. And just this is just where it's from, so just read these here.
Oh. There's Strip Chat, StreamMate, amateur webcam shows.
This is a small list of what they own. Here, I will drop it. It's a big list. This is what all the porn companies that they're involved with.
Yeah, and just going after Pornhub.
Okay, so Strip Chat, you said this one?
Yeah.
Then we got Sex Doll Plus from the UK, then Loveness Review. These are all like sex toys. Sex Doll Torso, Love Doll Torso. And they're even involved with production companies. AEBN.
The Adult Entertainment Broadcast Network.
Has a... What second? Do that. Has new and classic porn movies available on demand. Digital Playground.
Team Skeet. I Know That Girl, aka Mofos.
Yeah.
Reality Kings. Brazzers. These are porn producers.
Yeah, and some of the most disgusting stuff you're ever gonna see. Too. It's really gross. These companies, they make really gross stuff. And the last one on this list, Erotic Monkey.
And that
is an escort search site.